Welcome to the sit down presented by Visa. Andi Petrillo alongside player with Toronto FC, Theo Corbeanu. Appreciate you taking the time. How you doing?
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Yeah, doing good. Hopefully, can have a good performance on the weekend. Now, first home game, so looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to that. We're looking forward to that. I know a lot of fans are also looking forward to seeing you out on the pitch because a lot of people have been following your career. First and foremost, just how does it feel to be back home and playing in Major League Soccer?
Yeah, it's a surreal feeling. Honestly, being back home is something very special, and it's been a while. I've been in a lot of places, and I've been homesick as well. So being back here, being able to reconnect with everybody, my family and stuff, it plays a big role.
All right, what was the first home cooked meal?
It's a good question. I need to remember now. It was in January. It was spaghetti bolognese.
Yes, of course it was. Okay, you can't go wrong with that. But it is crazy because you're only 22, but you just kind of said it, right? Like the sport is taking you around the world. And that is such a wonderful thing, right? Eight different clubs, five different countries. But so how do you reflect on those experiences? Like what are some of those things that you experienced there that just, helped you grow as a person, helped you grow as a footballer?
Yeah, I mean it's great life experience as well. Obviously, on the field, needless to be said, it's being in different places, working under different managers, getting to know different people, players, and everything. So from that point of view, I felt like I learned a lot, and I took some things from each of the places, and obviously I can take them with me for the rest of my life. Things I'll never forget. And as well, also being in different cities and obviously experiencing new things, seeing new cultures and things like these. It's obviously less spoken about, but these are also things that I take into consideration when I think about the past.
How do you feel it's challenged you as a player? Because, you're also having to jump in, learn different systems. I'm assuming as well, there's just some different languages too. Just how do you feel that that also challenged you to take the next step in your game?
Yeah, I mean it's not easy. Obviously, like you said, you need to be adaptable, and you need to learn new things, and be willing to obviously listen to the orders of like other managers and play new systems that you're not used to. So of course it can be tricky sometimes. It can be very, eventful. You can enjoy it a lot. So depending on the situation, but I really like to pride myself and say that I've taken a lot from these places, and I've actually really enjoyed that. So hopefully now can have like a little bit of continuity now, and build some rhythm, and yeah, just properly get going here. That's my goal.
And when you were assessing your next step, what were you looking for at this stage of your career? Was it always an eye on MLS? Like, how did this whole process come to be with you and Toronto FC?
Well, I mean, prior to joining Toronto FC, I was in Spain, and it wasn't an easy year. So like when I first transferred to Granada, we were in La Liga. So for me, it was amazing, being able to be a part of a top five division in the world, such a decorated league, with such amazing players. So that was an insane experience in itself. But you know, didn't actually get as many minutes as I would have liked to there, and then as well in Segunda, which is a very competitive league. Um, and I would have hoped to receive more, but I mean, it is what it is now. It's something that I take with me and in my further experiences. And obviously, at coming at the end of this, I wanted somewhere where I can call home. Somewhere where I can settle down for a little while, find my groove again, and hopefully find my feet, because
Mhm.
yeah, that was a little bit of an issue prior, and now I felt like coming to Toronto FC was the right thing for me, and I was really happy when I got here.
So, what kind of conversations have you had with new manager Robin Fraser? Like, what is he asking of you, or maybe what is it? I mean, as a player, and it sounds like what you're saying is you obviously want the chance to be out there and you want those types of minutes. What is he expecting of you?
Of course, along with many little details that we speak day to day, I think he just wants me to be. myself. That's the big message. I don't think he wants to, overcrowd my mind or anyone's mind with too much information. He wants, you know, um, self initiative, and for me to just play the way I do. And I really, really hope that that'll be the case soon enough.
Yeah, what is it like being around a player like Federico Bernardeschi, who plays a similar position to you, and obviously representing the national team with Italy and what he's accomplished there? What are maybe even some of the things you're just learning, whether it's the two of you talking to each other or you just watching him in training or in games? What is it like having someone like that by your side?
Do you know what? It's tremendous having this, and like obviously I keep like a close eye on him in training because he has a profile that I'm also willing to aspire to be. I like to go one against one, uh, to be technical. To make things happen, to be creative, and he's exactly that. That's his profile, and uh, to have someone like that in the team right now, and to see that day in day out for me is great. I think especially at my age
Mhm.
and the stage I'm at in my career, and what he's achieved in his career thus far, it's very positive. It's a very positive thing for me, and like I
Mhm.
said, I watch him closely, and I try and take as much as I can from his game.
You have seen Toronto FC now at two different stages. So the first time when you were actually with TFC's academy, you were with the academy during the club's most successful years before you moved on to England. So why don't we look back then? Like, what were your memories of that time and just the excitement around the team and what they were achieving?
It was really special period. I mean, I loved the way the entire team played, but specifically, I remember the link up Giovinco had with Altador, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean the buzz around the entire city, and every time I'd go to a BMO game, and it was special. It was special. It's something that I think everybody would love to replicate again. That's the big game. That's the dream. But yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, being able to see Giovinco, who I think at the time was probably the best player that MLS has ever seen, it
Mm-hmm.
definitely leaves an imprint on you. And me growing up as well in that time and playing for the academy, it gave me someone to really, really look up to and say, that's that's what I want to be like, when I'm older. Someone like that, right?
Yeah, so you've tasted that, like you know what it's like when this club is hopping, and obviously, as you know, it's been a difficult few years for TFC. I'm wondering what is the mood in the club right now, and what are some of the messages, even just the conversations you guys are having with each other about being motivated to turn it around?
Well, I think that's exactly what it is. What you just said. I think it's that motivation to turn it around. Okay, it hasn't been a good start. Um, but it's a long season. There's a lot of games, and I think everyone needs to understand that. And we're trying to be patient, and train hard, train well, put our ideas into practice, and take it one day at a time. I think the most important thing is to enjoy playing the game and not being frustrated, or whatnot, because I think that can really kill someone once you get into that mood, into that zone. So we're trying to enjoy every day. Like I said, change what hasn't been good. We're looking over the clips and analysis, and we're analyzing that. But I think the key right now is to just try and be as happy as we can and try and enjoy our football. And I think once that happens, the situation can be turned around because I'm sure that with the quality that there is here in this building, 100% that can be the case.
Mm, well said. When we talk about your national team time, I mean, you had a bright start to your Canada career. You were named Canada Soccer's Young Player of the Year in 2021. Is the upcoming Gold Cup a target for you at all to get back in the squad? Is that something you think about?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's always the goal, to get back in the setup. It's been a goal of mine for a long time now. And obviously, up until this point, it's been a while since I last got called up. So it's in hindsight. Obviously, would I have wished to have gotten called up? Of course, but that's how the time's gone, and it is what it is. Now the key is to find my rhythm again, to find my form, and hopefully with good performances, I can put myself back in the picture for the national team, because the national team is something that gave me so much, obviously so early, like you said, and of course I want to be there with the boys and compete with them. And Gold Cup, why not? Of course, that's a huge target at the moment.
And the biggest target, as we know, is a home World Cup 2026, and some of those games will be played in Toronto. Did that factor into your decision at all in playing, not just MLS, but choosing Toronto as a market?
I mean, obviously, that comes with it, however, that wasn't like the main thing, that
Mm.
brought me. the The main thing was to be back home, to find, a footballing home, most importantly, and to be in a place where I'm really competing, and hopefully, fighting for a place in the team. And I felt like that was the best thing. But obviously, I mean, with the World Cup coming up, it's very exciting, and it's something that I have in the back of my head for sure. That's the goal, to be there, and hopefully a good season can make that happen. Hopefully, God willingly.
Well, let's be honest, the real big decision was spaghetti alla bolognese, right? I mean, this is why we're coming home.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely up there for sure. For sure. I don't know about the main, but it was another thing to think about for sure.
Well, I mean, how many family and friends do you think will be attending like a home match for you?
There'll be quite a few. I mean,
Yeah,
especially to kick off the game now. Yeah. Sorry, to kick off this home opener now. I think there will be a few.
yeah.
Hopefully.
Nice, can't wait. Well, before I let you go, again, because it still blows my mind at just 22, but how much you've been able to experience. And, when you think of just Canadian soccer, when you left to go play, outside of Canada in 2018, you come back to Canadian soil where there are now two Canadian domestic leagues, the Canadian Premier League, which launched in 2019, and now we're going to have the Women's Domestic League, Northern Super League, which is going to launch this April. How different is Canadian soccer in this country, from when you first were playing here to leaving and now coming back and seeing these two new domestic leagues?
Yeah, yeah, it's amazing, honestly, and it makes me proud, hearing that, especially when the CPL was formed. I think it was
Mhm.
something that was so positive for the country, to have our own domestic league, and like you said, now with this new women's league as well. So it's clearly improving, and it's heading in the right direction, 100%. So to see that from afar, and obviously for that to happen all in the time that I was gone, is great. I mean, really, really top stuff. So hopefully, that can improve as well. And as we can see, the MLS is clearly on the way up as well. Who knows how big it can get here?
Well, you've been a part of that. You've been a part of that journey, and I know a lot of people are excited to see you back on home soil. Really appreciate you taking the time, Theo Corbeanu, here on the Sit Down, presented by Visa.